Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek News, here with Sean Brown from Griffin Games with Salmon Run. Salmon actually swim, Sean. I don't know if you know this.
I was not aware. That was the box was supposed to simulate this.
But, I mean, salmon don't have legs.
No.
I think you really should have consulted an ichthyologist before you...
Right, maybe?
I don't know. Okay, well, regardless of how salmon move, maybe you can give us an overview of this game here, which is due out late April 2013.
Yep. So Salmon Run at its core would be a deck building game where players are going to have different cards in their deck, such as swim forward, swim left, swim right. There are cards we can pick up throughout the game that will allow us to do double forward swims, some wild cards that will allow us to do whatever we want. And we're going to assemble these decks, and everybody will start out with a basic deck with their colored fish icon here. So you'll get a whole bunch of these cards, which will be your stock deck. It'll have a bunch of swim lefts and rights and whatnot. And you'll add to your deck, so your deck's going to get bigger as it goes along. And what's going to happen here is all the players are going to start in the start area, and you'd have to play cards like, say, a swim left, and then a swim forward, and then you run into things like this would be a current. Up here you'll see waterfalls, so salmon have to jump over the waterfalls. So if I was all the way up here by a waterfall, I'd have to play 2 forward swims to jump over the waterfall. And then there's all kinds of hazards along the way. There's bears that could come out, and if a bear ever winds up in your square, you get fatigue cards, which are these guys.
That's what happens in real life, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, because if a bear shows up, you get fatigue. The fatigue is to swim away from said bear, but that would go into your deck. And then when you draw your 5 cards each turn, if you have a fatigue, it just goes to your discard pile. It just basically takes up a space, doesn't allow you to do as much swimming that turn. The best way to get rid of fatigue cards are to swim over into the reeds, because the reeds have oxygen and they allow you to rest. And when you're resting, you can take a card from your deck and discard it to get it out. And ideally, you'd want to get rid of a fatigue card to do so. And then there's other cards like the bear. And you could use the bear on someone to move a bear up to 2 hexes and fatigue all salmon that are in his way. So, if your opponents are a few hexes ahead of you, just send a bear over their way, throw some fatigue into their deck, and that'll a nice little catch-up mechanic there. And then there's also cards like the eagle that'll allow you to look at someone else's hand and make them discard a card, such as a double swim that they might need when they're right in front of a waterfall, things of that nature. The object of the goal is it's also a race game while being a deck building game, is to swim your way up the river and be the first into the spawning pool. And you make it up into the spawning pool and you win. Cool thing about this is it's got double-sided game boards, hard and easy, and it's also got a whole bunch of there's a bunch of extras as well. So there's also
So you build a track depending on how long you want the game to go. And
exactly. There's also a limited edition Fisherman expansion that'll be coming out. I believe that it'll be available on Board Game Geek at the Geek Store.
Oh, really? You say that?
On our website, and also some limited copies as well available. So that's Salmon Run, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
See, I think you need to go back to the ichthyologist again. If you're the first one in the spawning pond, I don't think anything happens, does it?
Well, you're the first one with all the ladies in the spawning pond? I don't know.
Sexist fishing game. That's what we got here. The ladies don't participate. They have to wait in the spawning pond until the men get there.
Maybe it's that the spawning pool is full of a bunch of men and we're all women fish, Eric. How do you think about that?
I've been shown to be a cad.
Well, there you go. Hope you all like Salmon Run.
Thanks, Sean.